Hi guys, and welcome back to my small engine repair channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about why it's important to do regular maintenance on the auger gearbox of your snowblower. And I'm also going to be talking about why it's important to use the proper shear pins in your snowblower as well. Now I've got a snowblower here that's all apart for this exact reason, lack of maintenance and not using the proper shear pins. As you can see here, I've got the auger gearbox all in pieces. And here's what the auger gear looks like inside. It's totally stripped, totally worn out. You can see bronze shavings there from the gear. Here's what a new gear should look like. And that's incredible, the amount of wear on this gear over here. By the way, it's a Craftsman snowblower that I'm working on. It's made by Murray. If you do end up needing to buy this gear for yourself, it's part number 53730MA. I'll put a link under this video to where you can directly buy one online. So the big question here is, how did this happen? What happened on the blower that the gear is broken is that the gentleman used a regular bolt here instead of a shear pin. When I took the blower apart, it had a bolt like this for shear pins. You can see the 3 marks, so it's a grade 5 bolt. It's much harder metal than the regular shear pin used on snowblowers. So therefore, when you hit something, the bolt here will not break. It's going to put stress on other parts of your snowblower auger system, especially the gear I just showed you, and it's going to make it break. So here's what the proper shear pin should look like for that specific blower. It's got the collar, it's a shear pin bolt, it's much softer metal than the grade 5 bolt I just showed you earlier. So that's why it's important to always have these bolts on, because if this doesn't break, something else more expensive will break on your snowblower. Just like this gear over here. This gear here is approximately $100. Now another reason that may have contributed to the wear and tear of that gear is that sometimes people do not take the plug off the gearbox, which there is one on this specific blower. Now you're not going to find a plug like this on every snowblower that you buy, but if there is one, it's a good idea to take it off once in a while or once a year and squirt a bit more grease in there. The best grease to use for this is a 00 grease. You can take the plug off, shove that in there, it comes off, you can cut it to size, and then just squeeze a bit of grease. Now you may find that it does get full, but that's not a big deal. You don't want to overfill it either, but it's good to squirt a bit of grease. The reason for that is because sometimes the grease builds up all on the sides of the case, as you see here, and then there's no grease going on the parts that actually contact each other. For example, there's a worm gear as well that goes over here. So you can see if all the grease is packed in on the sides, these parts are rubbing raw against each other, causing excessive wear. So by squirting a bit of grease on the front part, it's actually going to go right on the gear. So as you can see, when you squirt a bit of grease, it's going to go directly on the contacting parts of the gears, and it's also going to work its way up to the worm gear, and it will prevent excessive wear. So because he did not have the proper shear pins and the gear was already worn a bit, the minute he hit something, it had catastrophic results. In the end, the augers wouldn't even turn at all, so it was just totally sliding on the gear and not turning the shaft that holds the augers. And what's happened here is it's caused wear even at the back here where the impeller shaft goes through. Now in some snowblower auger gearboxes, they don't have grease, they have gear oil. So if that's the case, then just add gear oil through the plug. The way you know on those snowblowers if you have enough oil is that when you take the plug out, you put oil. If the oil comes back out, there's enough oil. You don't necessarily have to fill it right up to the top here. They usually recommend to only fill it up to the plug. Also, if you have an older snowblower and it had oil in the gear case, but when you put oil in it, it leaks out as fast as you put it in, then what I recommend to do is to put 00 grease in there instead of oil. If the seals are leaking on your gearbox, this grease will come out much slower than oil, and you can prevent it from wearing out. By the way, any small engine shop should carry this grease, or you can order it. It's part 329089 from Rotary. So I'm actually going to make a video on the repair of this snowblower here, so you're going to see exactly how I went about to repair this problem. Remember, always make sure to do the maintenance on your snowblower every season. Thanks for watching, and have yourselves a great day.